Hi guys, it's me Lunar, welcome back to another PUBG update video for Xbox and PS4. The PTS is out right now with some new features including Team Deathmatch, cross-party play and tons more changes, and I'm going over what's new in the video. If it's helpful, a like is very much appreciated. There's a lot of new things to go over, so let's jump straight into it, beginning with cross-party play. The friends list has been improved. Players can now search players from both the same and different platforms to add friends. Players can now find 4 tabs in the friends list. Platform. This shows your existing friends list for your current platform, and players you add to your platform specific friends list using their Xbox Live gamertag or PSN name will show there. The PUBG friends list. This is the new friends list which will help you organize your friends across platforms using cross-platform parties. Players can add friends by selecting follow when looking at another player's profile. Recent. This shows players you've met as a team in recent matches, and team shows your current teammates. Players from both console platforms will now be able to join the same custom match created. So crossplay has been in the game for a little while, and now you can create parties using crossplay as well with these changes. Next, Team Deathmatch. This is a new game mode that features 8v8 first person perspective only. It works like any other Team Deathmatch, and for weapons you can choose a weapon spawn kit at the beginning of a match, each with a different weapon. Respawns are of course enabled, and there's no knockdowns, and of course no friendly fire. The mode will be available to select for the new arcade menu. Arcade is a new part of the game that will introduce more game modes in the future as well. I'm not really going to go over this in much more detail because I have gone over it more than once in previous videos, so you can check that out, including a video that was dedicated to Team Deathmatch. Next, gameplay changes, starting with throwables and grenades. To the frag grenades, VEDs now mitigate damage received from frag grenades, but vest durability isn't reduced when taking damage from frags. Damage mitigation amount is dependent on the level of the vest worn by the player, with the same percentage reduction as for bullet damage. Frags will deal 20% less damage to prone players, and item weight is increased by 50%. Each frag grenade now takes 27 inventory capacity, up from 18, and pulling the pin on a frag is now louder and more audible from further away. So frag grenades have a little nerf, but the other throwables are slightly improved. The smoke grenade decreased fuse time from 3 seconds to 1 second. The stun grenade has increased indirect hit effect radius up to 6.5 meters, it was previously 5.5 meters. Ringing sound now impacts players through walls, and this matches the frag grenade mechanic, although the impact effects is slightly smaller radius. Added a slight camera shake to players near the explosion, and a default fuse mechanic. Stuns now explode 0.7 seconds after first impact, or after the fuse timer runs out, whichever comes first. Fuse time without cooking has been reduced to 5 seconds. Finally, to the Molotov cocktail, increased the speed at which fire spreads by 50%. Fire can now spread slightly further with an increased damage radius. Change the way fire spreads around objects, so fire will now more consistently reach the backside of objects. Reintroduce direct damage while standing in fire, so you will take damage in addition to the existing damage over time. Players on fire will now take an additional 10 damage per second. And fire now reaches higher and should be obstructed less by small objects. Finally, to frag and stun grenade, the visual effects have been slightly updated along with a more realistic frag grenade sound. Next up, a couple of changes to item spawns on Karakin. The G36C and MP5K have been added to the map. The spawn rate of first aid kits and boost items has been increased. The spawn rate of bandages has been decreased. The spawn of DMRs, SRs and Win94 on Karakin has been decreased, meaning you will see more pistols and assault rifles and SMGs for example, and shotguns of course. Increase the care package airplane speed to move faster across the island. To right peeking and leaning, players viewing their opponent from the right side of objects will now have more of their body exposed. Players' heads will lean slightly more towards the scope when adzing, and so the character's head is more exposed, and adjusted some weapons to have character's body be more exposed when peering to the right of objects. And they will of course continue to monitor feedback and try bring right peeking and leaning more in line with the left. What about waypoint features? The waypoint feature has been added to allow you to make strategic plans for the routes you take. You can use the feature only when activating the waypoint mode by pressing LB on Xbox or L1 on PS4 while the map is open. Press the R stick or R3 to make waypoints on the map. and you can place up to 4 points per group of waypoints. Pressing Y or triangle to remove the place waypoint, and when you place a new starting point, somewhere else the existing waypoints will disappear. In duo and squad modes, when a teammate places waypoints, they will appear on the map with a radio message. The next change is they have updated the blue zone effect. The distortion effect has been removed. They have altered the effect where the blue zone meets the ground to more clearly identify the blue zone edge, lowered the top wall of the blue zone, updated visual shaders for it, and effects will become more intense as the phases progress as well. Finally, they've changed the sound for entering and exiting the blue zone, and added a more intense humming sound when you are close to the edge of the blue zone. A new feature when you parachute. The parachute follow feature will help you and your teammates land together. During the pre-match countdown or before leaving the plane, a follow user interface will be shown at the bottom left of the screen, and hold the left on D-pad to activate follow user interface. The follow button will be highlighted once follow user interface is activated, and you can scroll up and down using the D-pad to choose a teammate to follow, and teammates that are already landed or yourself cannot of course be chosen. After selecting a teammate to follow, you can cancel it at any time, and if you're obstructed by terrain or objects, your follow will be cancelled. One change to matchmaking, they've removed the featured map and added Karakin to the random maps queue. To user interface and user experience. Key guide text displayed on the starting island has been modified. It will be displayed in nouns just like other options which have no direct effect on the gameplay, map, mission list, inventory, etc. Added brightness adjustments for Karakin. Xbox players can now leave the squad in the lobby without going into Friends tab. News and banner user interface will show dots at the bottom to indicate how many banners are registered. To performance has improved with additional word origin shift optimizations. And to custom matches, Erangel Classic has been deleted. That just leaves us with some bug fixes, which hopefully you can see on screen. And there was one known issue which the devs are talking about as well, which I will tell you, and that is unnecessary crashing issues. They said that during their investigations that they did find unnecessary memory was being used, and have optimized this in areas and applied these improvements in the update, although it's not really mentioned. But they said that memory options is a top priority and will be worked on for the next update. But as always, player feedback is key to fixing the problem quickly. Well guys, the PTS is out now with all the changes mentioned. Let me know what you think of the update, especially Team Deathmatch, in the comments. From what I've seen so far in terms of feedback, players say that despite the issues of the game, that the Team Deathmatch is actually pretty fun. The update will hit the live servers on the 27th, 1 week from today, and I will go over the full patch notes in detail then. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest PUBG news as it happens, and for Modern Warfare. Until then, have an awesome day, and I will see you all in the next one.